Hey everyone, I hope you are well. So, I am back with another very quick Photoshop tutorial for something that's very basic. So, in class for design and color, we are definitely going to be doing a color GIF. So, this is our next assignment. Color GIFs are fairly easy to do once you kind of get the steps and understand what you are doing. It's quite fun to produce. So, as you can see, I have my Photoshop window open. I'm going to create new for my document. So as you can see, I have an idea of what I want my size to be for my Photoshop assignment. You guys are going to have a little bit of uh, just direction for your assignment. I just want to make sure that this demo is simple enough that way you understand how to make the color GIF. So for me, I know I want a 5 by 5 um, basically a squared frame. And I'm going to keep the resolution fairly small at 72 because of the fact that this is something is meant to be viewed either on the web or something that's viewed as a photo, not a photo, as a video. So I don't really need these huge, big files for something that is shown as a video. So I have my width at 5 inches, my height at 5 inches, and then 72 for my PPI or DBI, however you want to say it. And I'm going to press create. Yay, create. So as you can see, I have a background layer. I need to go in and oh, there we go, close that for right now because we don't need it. So as of right now, I have my background layer. This is the size that I definitely want because I have this in mind already. So you guys, with your color GIFs, these GIFs are going to deal with color and it's going to deal with the color wheel. You will have to do different colors, like you're going to do a chromatic one. You're definitely going to do one that is changing from one color, let's say red, to purple to blue or something like that, where you're going to have these colors switching uh, into these different colors. So you're going to have different types of, think about it in paint swatches, you're going to have different colors that are slowly gradually gradating to another color, photos that are slowly gradually gradating to another color. And I'll explain more in class about what you're going to be doing for this assignment. So I'm keeping my demo fairly simple. That way it doesn't run too long. Hopefully I can keep this under a particular amount of time. It should be fairly quick. But once again, like I said, I have my idea, which is a 5 by 5 image that's in Photoshop. So the background we definitely do not need, but I just want to have it there because I need all of my photos to be the same size. So I'm going to drop in my photos. So I'm thinking of an analogous kind of idea for my color wheel, which I kind of trickle down away from analogous because I moved into purple. So technically that's not analogous anymore. But I just wanted to have an extra image that was there other than just having three. So I'm going to drop in my images. So once again, if you're doing like me, if you're dropping it, remember you need to rasterize it. So right now, I just want to change the name. So I'm going to change it to yellow. For my layer. And then now I want to rasterize the layer. Bam, now I can do what I need to do to it. So I also want to go to edit because I want to turn it into a free transform because I want to make sure that it's the right size that I'm looking for. So I think we're all good with that one. I'm gonna switch over to my move tool. Now I'm going to drop in the next one. So I'm going to drop in my orange. And by all means, guys, if you have a more efficient way of doing it, because everybody has their own way of working in Photoshop, you could definitely do that. I have no problem with it. So as you can see, I just dropped my orange photo in. Now I'm going to change the name. So I can spell. I'm gonna change the name. And I want to rasterize the layer. Then I want to go to edit. I want to go to free transform because I want to be able um, to get the sizing of this. So you guys, when I'm moving and sizing, I'm actually holding the shift button on my computer keyboard. So I want to make it the right size. So now that I have that, I'm just going to change out of that. I'm a little off there, but I'm fine with that. And I'm going to drop in the next photo. So we started with yellow, orange, of course, red. Let's get in there. So another thing, you guys, a little backtrack. What I did, because I knew that I knew I wanted to have this kind of like box frame. What I did is I found my photos on Instagram. You guys are going to be doing something different on Instagram. Sorry. Found my photos on the Google. And I went in and I just did a screenshot of the photo because I know that that was going to make the photo a lot smaller. That way I didn't have to go in and adjust my images in Photoshop. And also I made the frame for it a square because that also makes it easier for me to make sure that all of my layers are the exact same size. So I want to name my layer again. So this is red. Then I want to rasterize it. Then I'm going to go into edit and I'm going to freeform it. I want to get all of my size the same for my layers. And I just want to change out. So we're pretty close with that. I'm fine with that. My last little layer, you guys are going to have a lot of layers. I think you need about 20 photos you're going to do 4 different color gifs. So this is probably nothing of a demo to what you're going to be doing. So I'm going to change this to purple, this layer, name it purple. So now that I have that, I also want to rasterize it again. I want to go to edit. I want to freeform it. I'm holding shift again because I just want to get it into place. All right, then I'm going to change. Just want to change that so I can get out of that command. So now that I have all of my layers in, I can go ahead and delete my background. So I'm going to unlock it. And I'm going to delete the layer. Just bam, I deleted the layer. All right, so now that I have all of my images in, I have them the size that I want them. Now I want to go in and I want to go to window. So here's a window here. I want to go to window. I want to click on it. I want to scroll down to timeline. So here's timeline here. So once again, I went to window. I scroll down to timeline because now we're going to start to make our color GIF. So I'm going to click on timeline. That's going to open up my window for timeline. So here, you guys, you can see if I click on this, it's going to tell me create video timeline or create frame animation. What we're going to do is we're going to click create frame animation. So when we think about GIFs, you guys, you want to think about basically you're creating a 2D animation. So when you think about frames in 2D animation, you think about one frame will have a particular movement, another frame will have another movement that may be slightly moved for an object, and then you have another frame that the object is slightly moved again. And then once all of these frames are connected together, you start to see objects start to turn. So that's the ideal we're going for. But we have none of our objects are moving, but that's what just kind of give you the idea of. So once we have create frame animation, you want to click on it. So what that did, it put my layer into a frame right now. So I need to organize my frames within my timeline before I save my color GIF. So once again, I want to think of those analogous colors, but because I dipped into purple, it's not quite analogous. But that's the idea I was going for. So what I'm going to do, because each frame, you guys, we have to organize it. So I'm thinking about the color wheel. So I want to start with yellow. And how we're going to do this is you want to turn off your layers until you get to the layer that you want. So I turned it off. I want yellow to start first. This is going to be my first frame, which is yellow. Next, I'm going to push this plus sign that's here. It's down here. It says plus sign. Click on it. What it does is duplicate it. So once it's duplicated, now I want to go to my next frame. Excuse me, my next frame. That's so gross. I'm recording. My next frame, and my next frame is going to be orange. Thinking about the color wheel, orange is next. So I'm going to press on it. I'm going to turn off my yellow. So that's my next frame. And then I'm going to duplicate my frame again. Bam, another one. So I want to go to, if we have yellow, you want to go to red. You're thinking about that color wheel. Now I have red in the frame. So I want to go back to my plus sign because I want to duplicate it again. Bam, duplicate it. Now I want to go to purple. I want to turn off my red. So as you can see in my timeline, I have my yellow, my banana, my oranges, my red, and my purple onions. So this is giving me those analogous colors that isn't quite analogous, because really analogous is these three, because I'm moving into purple, which is outside of that family. So now that we have this in, now we want to think about how long do we want these frames to run for. If we decide what we want down here where it says second, but it's basically the second, so how long they're going to run, you want to click on it where it says 0 seconds. Click. You have a no delay. You can push that if you want it to move rapidly fast and you don't want to delay, or you can press 1 second if you want it to pause, each frame to pause for a second, or you can do 2 seconds if you want each frame to pause for 2 seconds. So I'm going to play around with it, that way you can get an idea and a feel for it. So I'm going to click on 1 second, and I'm going to click on 1 second for all of them so we can get a feel for what 1 second feels like with our color GIFs. So now that I have 1 second, I'm going to push play down here. Another thing you want to make sure where it says forever, you can click on this. This kind of tells you how many times you want it to play for. So you could play 3 times, play once. I'm going to click forever because that's what we want. We want it to play forever. It's a color GIF. So you want to press play. Let's see how that runs. So that 1 second for me is moving too fast, but you get an idea for what that 1 second to do. So I'm gonna stop it. I'm gonna go back to my first one, and I'm gonna say, I'm gonna slow it down and give it 5 seconds. Slow it down, give it 5 seconds. Slow it down, give 5 seconds. Slow down again for 5 seconds. And I'm gonna push play. And like, it slows it down a little too much now. It doesn't really feel like a color GIF. So I'm gonna stop it. And we are going to, I'm gonna say 2 seconds. Another thing that you can do, guys, if you want to have some photos, let's say I want this one to play for a second, and then I want this one to play for 2 seconds, and then I want this one to play for 5 seconds, and then I want this one to play again for 1 second. We can do that as well. So if I push play, it's kind of what's happening. So you can do that if you want some of them to play differently. But I still try to think of it's a color GIF. It's a GIF, and normally they play fairly rapidly. So I'm gonna go to 2 seconds, 2 seconds, and 2 seconds. So I'm gonna press play, and that feels like a typical color GIF, or a typical GIF if you want to say it that way. So now I have that. I'm saying, yay, this is my GIF. Woohoo! Now what I want to do is I want to save it. So I'm going to go to File. I'm going to go to Export. So File, Export. Then I'm going to go to Save for Web Legacy. So File, Export, Save for Web Legacy. So I'm going to click on it. So now that I've clicked on this, um, the one thing you want to make sure in this window is just make sure it says GIF right here. Now that I see that it says GIF, I want to press save. So now that I press save, I can rename my my GIF. I'm just going to name it Color Gif. Now that I have that, I want to save it to my desktop. That's here. So I'm gonna press save. So here's the thing. When you save it to your desktop, you guys, when you try to open it, and I will show you really fast. When you try to open it, it's only going to show all of your photos, and that's fine. So what you want to do is when you click on it, I'm right clicking. I have a Mac. I'm right clicking, and I'm going to go to open with, and I say Google Chrome. You can open up in Google Chrome, and bam, there's your Color GIF. So what you can do once you get to this stage, because you're going to have to turn in your assignment to D2L. So what you want to do is what I normally would do. I would go into QuickTime, and I would just record my screen. And then that would turn it into a video, and that's something that you can turn into for your class assignment. So that's a way of doing it for turning it into D2L. So now I'll talk a little bit more about it, but I have it in the demo just so you know. So once again, when you get it to here, I opened it up in Google Chrome. You can go to QuickTime, and you can record your screen on QuickTime, which that was save it and turn it into a movie. Then you're able to submit that into D2L for your assignment. So I'm going to talk more about your assignment, guys, but you guys are going to do you're going to do 4 different GIFs, and you can see how fast these things can be easily put together. What may take you some time, you guys, is taking your photos. That may take some time, and also putting them into Photoshop. But this is the demo for Design in Color GIFs. Very fun. So hopefully this helps you guys, and I want you guys to have fun with it. And I will see you in class. All right, bye, guys.